Hey folks, TechTucker here, and in today's episode we have the next episode of the free game collection. So in today's episode I'd go on a traditional game hunt as I've done in the past. I finally allocated some time to do so, and overall it didn't seem like it was going to be the best hunt until I went to a specific shop, which I'll explain a bit later in the video. But yeah, first things first, we're starting off with a pretty decent budget with £43.43 and about £16 CEX credit. So what I did is I actually bought something off eBay between that time and the game hunt I've just been on, and it cost me a grand total of £10. And I have a clip that I'll roll here of me opening said games. Alright, now that that clip is shown, yep, I got Flicky and Kid Chameleon on the Sega Mega Drive. They are cartridge only. Again, not really my preferred way of doing it, but Flicky is one of the games that I highlighted in the very first episode that I really wanted. And the cartridge is in very nice shape, in all fairness, so to get this as well as Kid Chameleon for £6.50 with postage, so £10 all in, really good price to be fair. This game is a bit more uncommon. If CEX sell the cartridge alone for £12, so honestly it would have been silly for me not to grab it, and it's a game that I've wanted for a very long time. I'll need to source out a box or something at some point. Hopefully I can find one on eBay with a manual, that'd be fantastic, but it's so uncommon that it just never comes up. I can at least play it on the Mega Drive. Kid Chameleon, just a bonus to be perfectly honest, wasn't something I was looking for, but hey, happy to have it in the collection. Now that we've went over that eBay pickup, that deducts £10 from the total funds, bringing me to £33? Yeah, £33 to go on this game hunt with. So I'll take a look across the charity shops across Edinburgh, and not much luck. I'll be showing it here anyways with the DVDs for the most part, with the occasional game, and if there were games, they were either in really bad condition or they were wrong cases, wrong discs, vice versa, as you'll see. But yeah, I'm not best pleased with the luck I had today in terms of the charity shops. It was not the greatest, to be perfectly honest, but hey ho, that's the nature of it sometimes, so it can't be helped. That's just the way it goes. As I say, I did see some games that I would have maybe picked up, like Call of Duty World at War, for example, for £3 would have been decent, especially with the backwards compatibility thing recently, but it had Gears of War 2 in it. Mario and Sonic the Olympic Games again for £2, pretty solid price, but again the disc was just not in good shape. And the WrestleMania 21 as well. I probably would have picked that up just to be like, ooh, an original exclusive Xbox title, but the disc again was completely trashed. It's like, I don't even know if they checked, I'm just flying on a price and shove it on the shelf. Like, it's in there, cool, probably don't even check the condition, because yeah, even if they sold it, they'd be getting it back. But the next shop I went to was the cash generators. So what I'll show, they did have a pretty good selection of games here actually. I was very pleased with what I saw. And I did pick up a couple of things out of the cash fund as well. So I did spend a grand total of £8 when I went to this cash generator. But as you'll see, there's a good range of like Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, a lot of stuff there. There were other bits and pieces with consoles as well, but the PlayStation 1 stuff that they had, again, wasn't worth filming. Caught some footage of Switch stuff as well. I thought Travis Strikes Again was the limited run print of No More Heroes Run. Well, one, sorry, not Run. But yeah, it wasn't, unfortunately. So as I continued to look at those games, I do see some retro lined up there as well. Again, Killer Instinct on the SNES for £4, that's a very solid price. Mario 64 for 15, again, that's pretty decent, can't complain. I think CEX up for 18. The general theme was, when I was seeing these games, they were usually a few pound below CEX's value, which is good, so that more aligns it with eBay prices in my opinion. But what I'll do is, I'll show you in just a moment what I got. Okay, so The first game I got, the Killer Instinct, it is a bit dirty. I think it should clean up okay though. Pins are very dirty as well. It's got a sticker on the back. Yeah, not the greatest condition in the world, but for the price point, I think there's like, you can't really see it too well, but a little bit of corrosion on the pin, but that should come off. I've seen far worse, and I've got worse in better condition like now. And then this isn't in the footage, but I did find this in the top corner of the shelf at the till, and this is something I wanted for quite a long time. It is a wee zapper. It is all in there. The instructions are included, and it's in decent shape. As I say, I won't open it, but I'll capture some extra footage. It's in decent shape overall. Bit yellowed on the front. The box itself is not the cleanest in the world, but it's not bad by any means. And of course, it does have a copy of Link's Crossbow Training. And this disc is in very nice shape. It is complete as well. I'll show you guys the disc also. It's definitely been in a resurfacer actually. But yeah, you can see it's very clean. So yeah, with that one, £4 this cost me. And CEX sell the zapper on its own for £8. I looked these up on eBay boxed as well, and about £15 seems to be the going rate for them, so not bad at all for £4, so that's £8 deducted from the cash budget. And yeah, with what I've got in my hands here for £8, you could sell Killer Instinct on its own for about that usually, from what I remember. I'll fact check myself on that one, but yeah, very pleased with that. Alright, next up is the first CEX trip of the day. And I did have a look. I'm usually looking for retro or 360 stuff when I'm in CEX. Don't really look at much else, to be honest. I do check out modern stuff, but don't buy from there as it's usually too inflated in my opinion. But yeah, as I say, a solid selection of retro as well. Pretty good amount of N64 games from what I could see in addition to that. And there were some Game Boy Advance games. And if you have been watching from the start, you'll know I've spotted a Game Boy Advance game that I wanted and mentioned at the start of the series. And I have CEX credit in my pocket. So yeah, I went back and I purchased a Game Boy Advance game here. I say went back, it's not like I went far at all, but the good news is this only deducts 50p from the CEX fund. So we'll do that just now, and the reason for that is because they took my copy of Crash Bandicoot that they rejected the last time. Yeah, that was in my local store in the Edinburgh one, they took it no problem. So yeah, ultimately it just cost me 50p. I traded, yeah, I say 50p of the credit anyways. So I traded the Crash Bandicoot for a copy of Payday 2. This is a game I've just never had in the collection. I'll show the receipt as well at the end. But yeah, very nice condition. It was £1.50 with Payday 3 coming out as well. I just thought I'd take a look, but yeah, disc is quite nice. So I'm happy enough with that. And yeah, it's a game that I kind of remember from like adolescence and that my friends were really into it. So that's kind of why I have some memories of it, but not something I ever got super into myself. Just going to chuck that down there. And then the Game Boy Advance game, which I'm sure you all know by now. Give me 1 second, I've not actually opened it since getting home. It's very good of them to put it in the wee bubble wrap pocket. But yes, just inspect it, yeah. And I finally have Sonic Advance 3 in the game collection. So I now have the Sonic Advance Trilogy. Overall, yeah, it's got the number imprint on Sonic's head. Don't know if I can reflect, yeah, you can see that there. Cartridge is in very nice shape overall, so I'm quite pleased with that. So happy days, I finally have Sonic Advance 3. So again, that's only 50p deducted because I traded in the original Crash Bandicoot. So happy days. Okay, this is where things get a little crazy because I went to game on the way back. I was literally just about to hop on the train, go home for the day. And yeah, they had some nice clearance. So they had a nice Spider-Man 2 like promo piece to walk through as well, which I'll show as well. But as you'll see in the footage, there were 50% off games. And there's one game that stands out in particular that is 49p. So basically 25p. And it is Empire of Sin. So with Empire of Sin, I bought 16 copies, and what I did is I went to CEX and I did a drop and go order. So the drop and go order quoted £64 voucher for £4. Of course, since it's a bulk thing, I probably could have been smarter about it and went about it other ways, but yeah, I just decided, screw it, I can't bother carrying this home. Went back to the CEX up the road and traded them all in. and I ended up getting a £51 voucher after they deducted 20% off for the bulk purchase. So I didn't keep any copies. It's not a game I am interested in the slightest. It's not my kind of thing. And I have a game of similar vibes on the 360 as well that I could play if I wanted to fix something in that style. And I did also pick up a couple copies of Guilty Gear Strive here. This is a game, it's not something I've been like looking out for a very long time or anything, but it's one that I've always had a bit of an interest to play. So I bought 3 copies of this with the intention that those 2 other copies will offset this copy. Mostly worked out because they applied the bulk discount to this also. So when I traded in the 2 copies, instead of getting £16 cash, it was £12.80. So realistically, this cost me £2.20 from the game fund. So be it. And I did pick up a couple of other games as well. This one being Crease Tales, however you pronounce it, ultimately worked to be £3.50, and it is technically new, it's not sealed or anything. So I didn't think I'd be adding PS5 games to the free collection, but here we are. This isn't an expensive game or anything, it's just one that I've always wanted to give a go. So yeah, £3.50 for a PS5 game doesn't happen often. And then the other game I picked up as well, not sure if I'm going to keep this one, is Astria Ascending. Again, I've only seen, it's kind of an JRPG, this definitely isn't something I'll get time to play, but I think it might be just something worthwhile holding on to. This one costs £5.50, CEX sell for £12, so I could have got £8 voucher, or I could have got £5 cash, so ultimately I would have lost 50 pence of trade in for cash. But for the price, again, I could probably put it on eBay, get £10 quite easily, and almost all my money, but I think I'll hold on to it for now. If something comes up in like CEX locally or something, I might consider selling it. But yeah, PS5 games, was not expecting that at all to add to the free game collection. But hey, it happens sometimes, and that stack of 16 Empires of Sin, it was funny, I was looking in the store as well, and they already had like 6 copies. I wasn't the first guy to do that on that day, but oh well, I'm not complaining. I got a decent voucher, so I'll add that to the total. Doing very well, and that leaves me with about £10 or so in the free game collection fund, so I will need to be a bit more conservative with funds and not spend. To be fair, I went with the intention of picking up some stuff to resell. I should have been a bit more smarter about it in terms of balancing out the cash fund and the voucher, but I just see the bigger number and I go, ooh, I need that. So I've got the opportunity to add either a heavy hitter game in the game collection, or alternatively pick up a few more, just kind of bulk it up a little bit. But yeah, we'll see what I do. So I'll show some footage and just show the total value of the collection here as well. We're making some very good strides considering we're still in the profit and still have a comfortable amount of CEX credit. We've got the opportunity to get some more stuff in there, which is fantastic. So stay tuned for the next episode to see what I spend that credit on. I've not spent it at this time of recording, but it's my plan to. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. As I say, I'm grateful if you're watching this series and have followed every episode. Alternatively, I've got other content as well, you know, more gaming pickups, more game hunts, and not only that, Xbox 360 is an area, if you're interested in that console, that you can look out and check out some videos. So yeah, as I say, like, share and subscribe, and hope you're enjoying the content. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks, and goodbye.